Well, this is such an incredible, important topic. So, Paula, thanks for inviting me to say a few words and read the proclamation. But I want to really thank the. Okay, sorry. Maybe I'll follow Paula's lead. She's smarter than I am. Okay. Well, maybe I'll find the Reverend. Is that okay, Rick?
That's fine.
Well, I want to thank Tanya and Spence and Rick and Greg and obviously Margie and Kelly and obviously Lisa. I want to thank the P&J for really highlighting this. I've been involved on a larger scale on the federal level with recidivism and Chief Judge Casey Rogers and myself about 4.5 years ago, and I know all of you know about Reentry Alliance Pensacola and the nonprofit that was organized, and it's been a big eye-opener for me personally. But most importantly, the recidivism rate is 60% plus, and from an elected official standpoint, it's either going to be a positive or a negative impact for the community. And I want to applaud the League of Women Voters for highlighting this because it's such an incredible, important issue in our great community. And I want to thank Commissioner Underhill for being here and Councilman Wingate for being here, because our youth are our future in this great country that we are a part of. But before I do read my proclamation, Paula, I want to say thanks to the women voters and what the women do. I always like to say when you have women on your team, you can do anything. Kelly and Marjorie know that I have 3 sisters. My mom has 2 sisters, so I've been around women my whole life, and I know that when they're on your team, you can make things happen. So from a policy standpoint or an issue standpoint, I haven't really had the opportunity to speak to the League of Women Voters in a long time, so I want to say thank you, but most importantly, we value what you do in our great community and the things that you strive for on a federal, state, and local level. So I know you don't want to hear a politician talk too much, so I'm going to read this proclamation. See if I can do it with a mic. Whereas the historical role of the juvenile court system is to rehabilitate and treat youthful offenders while holding them accountable and maintaining public safety, and is therefore better equipped to work with youth than the punitive nature of the adult criminal justice system. And whereas youth are developmentally different from adults, and these differences have been documented by research on the adolescent brain and acknowledged by the U.S. and state Supreme Courts. Many state and federal laws that prohibit youth under age 18 from taking on major adult responsibilities such as voting, jury duty, and military service. Whereas youth who are placed under the commitment of the juvenile court system are able to access age-appropriate services, education, and remain closer to their families, all of which reduce the likelihood of future offending. And whereas an estimated 200,000 youth are tried, sentenced, or incarcerated as adults every year in the United States, and most of the youth are prosecuted for non-violent offenses. And whereas most laws allowing the prosecuting of youth as adults were enacted prior to research evidence by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, demonstrating that youth prosecuted in adult court actually decreases public safety, as on average they are 34% more likely to commit future crimes than youth retained in the juvenile justice system. And whereas youth of color and youth with disabilities and mental health issues are disproportionately represented at all stages of the criminal justice system, and whereas it is harmful to the public and to young offenders to confine youth in adult jails or prisons, where they are significantly more likely to be physically and sexually assaulted, and where they are often placed in solitary confinement. And whereas youth sentenced as adults received an adult criminal record which defer future education or employment opportunities, and the collateral consequences normally applied in the adult justice system should not automatically apply to youth arrested for crimes before the age of 18. And whereas youth who receive extremely long sentences deserve an opportunity to demonstrate their potential to grow and change. Now therefore I, Ashton Hayward, Mayor of Pensacola, here to proclaim the month of October 2015 Youth Justice Awareness Month in the City of Pensacola, and urge all citizens to take part in activities and observances designed to increase awareness and understanding the challenges facing today's youth to take part in program activities and to join in national efforts. Thank you.